Today we're at Pizza Hut because we are back with another episode of The Best, where I highlight my favorite orders from every restaurant or category in the year of 2024. I'm trying to format it so that I do a chain restaurant and then a mom and pop or a category each day. So today is at Pizza Hut. I've been doing this for a couple of years now where I highlight my best things, and I feel like in the last few years I've done too much food for each order, so I'm trying to get it streamlined to that I get like an order that I would get for like 1 or 2 people at pizza places, or at a fast food place I would get just for me. So that is what I did today. I got 1 pizza, which I think is the best pizza that I like at Pizza Hut, and I got a side and a dessert, which is what you'll see at most pizza places. So drop a thumbs up, you guys are already notified, man. Let's get into this video. We'll start off with the pizza. Now, this changes every single year, and usually it's because I try something new at a place, and I'm like, honestly, this is probably the play. And this was at Pizza Hut. If you've been watching for a while, back in the summer, I did a pizza where they added garlic to it, and I'm like, that's really good. And it became something I like at Pizza Hut. Most places don't offer this at chain restaurants. Pizza Hut does. So my goated Pizza Hut order is a large pan pizza with pepperoni cups and garlic. Difference, spicy marinara sauce instead of regular, as well as asking for well done, which is what I do at every chain pizza place. Well, really, any chain pizza place. Pizza Hut pan pizzas are just a nostalgia farm for me, so I always have to get it here, and that's what we got. And I did ask for a well done, and they cooked it pretty good for a well done pan pizza. It's still undercooked in my opinion, but again, it's a chain pizza, so I'm not expecting much. I used to do jalapenos, but the spicy marinara has just enough kick that it reminds me of a jalapeno pepper. Pizza Hut is probably my least favorite of the 3 chains now. It was my favorite when I was a kid, 90s kid. And I will give them credit for this. They offer things that most chain pizza places do not offer. Spicy marinara, no other place has. Garlic, no other place has. So if I go to Pizza Hut, the way it stands out, what makes it different for me is getting something like that. Other places now are doing the pepperoni cups. So that's not original to them, but I love the fact that they have it on the menu. It's a pan pizza. Even though it doesn't taste like it used to back in the day, it's still probably always going to be my favorite thing at Pizza Hut, because I just remember going there. I probably said this a billion times on here, but it just, I feel like you should have that little dream thing where they do to have a picture of me as a little kid or something, but I ain't got one. But going there as a kid and getting it in that cast iron skillet with the triangle pan, the red cups with that checkerboard ugly decor that I really love, and playing Street Fighter, because they had an arcade at the one I went to in the front with a Street Fighter, until my food got there, was just S tier. The pizza back then was way better because they did make it in that like skillet, and they really like, it was super buttery, and it doesn't do that anymore. They just went away from that and went more towards their takeout. But back then it was a fine dining establishment. Well, I wish it still tastes the same. I still really like it, but if you're a fan of garlic, I would try the garlic and spicy marinara combo. The only thing you might do that I won't at Pizza Hut, but I will do at other places, you'll see and you're gonna get mad, is the pineapple. It does hit. I just don't think it's the best when it comes to chains. I like it, but the best, I'm not getting pineapple on pizza. I'm a person that likes pineapple on pizza, but I don't love it. I'll stand on that. It's good at chains, though. Next up, we have what I think is the best wing in chain pizza. Their Wing Street menu is actually really good. But I got, this is never my favorite wing flavor, by the way, but it is at Pizza Hut. Their honey barbecue wings. Usually, I'm more of a spicy, sweet wing person, but their honey barbecue is the best. And I tried mixing with their buffalo. It just doesn't hit the same. So I went back to their honey barbecue. They have a really sweet sauce that I enjoy at Pizza. My biggest issue with this place when it comes to this, though, their wings are so overpriced that it's almost like it bothered me to get this. The pizza that I got, I have a thing where if you order a large 3-topping pizza or 2-topping pizza, it's $12.99. They charge you $2 extra for the pan pizza, so it comes out to $14.99. These wings, just these wings, are $12 for 6 wings. Did I get 7? 1, 2, 3, no, I got 6. There's 6 wings. And that's just crazy. Like, that's more than Wingstop, bro. So that's really annoying. But we're doing the best, so I just threw the price out the window. Normally, I don't even get these because I think they're a ripoff. But this is the best. They are the best. Price-wise, they're the worst. Honey barbecue. I had to say that, bro. Pissed me off. Y'all gonna think I'm crazy when I say this. Their honey barbecue sauce is one of the best of any wing, like from a chain. Wingstop, B-Dubs. Such an underrated part of their menu. I don't know what kind of sauce they're using, but it really kicks up the honey and the molasses in it. And I don't really like Wingstop barbecue. Theirs I like. It's a weird thing. And they give you, like, look how much sauce is chilling on the bottom of this. There's so much sauce that I'd probably dip my damn pizza in. I might at the end of this video. That's really good. Like, I know I have to complain first and then get it out the way because I knew these were going to hit. Pizza Hut Wing Street menu. This and their fries. I can only get one side. It'd be the wings, but I do like their fries as well. I just wish they made this more affordable because Papa John's, Little Caesars, and Domino's, you can get that same order of wings for $7. $7 to $8 depending on where you are. Pizza Hut's the only place that hasn't reduced the fees on their wings yet. And that's kind of annoying. But because they are the best. Maybe they feel like they didn't have to because people buy them anyway. But, you know, prices are crazy these days. But still, if I'm just judging them off taste alone, they are miles better than any other chain's wings to me. Like, that's why I had to include them in the order. And finally, doing the best dessert at Pizza Hut. I love these. I got these for free because I had the points. I had like, these cost 150 points on the Pizza Hut app. So I had 150 points. Did these get smaller though? They might have. But you still got the Cinnabon mini buns. They're just mini Cinnabons. They use the same icing and everything. And I like their brownies. I like their cookies. But if I'm going to Pizza Hut, I'm getting these. I used to get these. And I would get too, I used to be so heavy. I gotta be, I'm sorry. I used to be so heavy. I used to get a double of these and just keep them in the fridge. And I used to eat them like all day and night. I would have them like every time that somebody would get Pizza Hut, whether this was college or after college, I would get an extra one and I would keep it in the fridge and just throw it in the microwave at like 2 a.m. I was big, man. I was big. But still, the icing, the Cinnabon. If you like Cinnabon, you'll like this. Are they as good as Cinnabon? If you get the mini ones, but I still like the big booty bun from Cinnabon. But either way, there's not much to talk about with these because most people have had Cinnabon. The biggest difference too, there's not as much icing, like not the icing, but the cinnamon part on there. I think these actually come frozen and they just kind of cook them. So it's not going to taste the same as Cinnabon. They, be rolling them out right in front of you. So I still love them more than any other thing that I get from there. Damn. Like I said before, of the chains, Pizza Hut is my least favorite that I've done recently. So I also think they have one of the smallest menus with like variety. I love to switch it up chains and they just don't have it. Their service at mine usually isn't the best. But again, this is why I'm doing my best. Let me know what your best is. I'm curious what changes you would make to mine. When it comes to these videos, everybody's opinion is going to be different. We keep it respectful here. I love that. I appreciate y'all. I did want to talk about something that relates to sports, but it also doesn't stop at sports. I saw the Heisman Trophy finalists came out, and it's pretty much who people expected. The Boise State running back Aston Jeanty, all-purpose player at this point, Travis Hunter at the University of Colorado, Cam Ward, quarterback from Miami, and also the quarterback of Oregon, Dylan Gabriel. Not really here what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about Deion Sanders again. And I have to just bring this up because I think that it is important for people to, even if you don't like maybe the way someone acts or something like that, to kind of look at things with a bit of an impartial lens. I keep saying that everyone now treats every opinion like it's SEC football. If you're not one of mine, I don't like you. Nothing that you do, nothing that you say, doesn't matter. I don't care. You're not for me. This person's for me. Without being able to give credit where it's due. So I saw this tweet, or whatever you want to call it now, about his accomplishments since he's been there. You can pause to read that. Most of those things are athletic and brand achievements, which impartially, a lot of them have been great. There's no denying that Colorado, no one outside of Boulder really cared about Colorado for a very long time. You've got celebrities on the sidelines. You've got College Game Day going there. You went from 1-11 to 4-7 to 9-3. We all know that. Great job. But I think I may have said this on here, and if I haven't, if I had a son, or if I, as a former player myself, I would send him to Deion Sanders. As a former player, I would have loved to play for Deion Sanders. There's things that go on behind the scenes at college football programs. And what triggered this for me was watching the Boise State game. They played in the conference championship last week. One of my former coaches at the University of Northern Iowa is now the defensive coordinator at Boise State. And it got me to thinking, where the hell are all my old coaches? So I started looking them up, and I started kind of in my head, he was a great coach, this coach. One of the things that I don't think goes said enough, for all the Aston Jeanties and Travis Hunters of the world, there are a million other college football players that won't go pro. You won't sniff the pros. The majority of players won't get a draft look. They won't get a tryout. When their eligibility is up, that's it. I hope you graduate, and I hope you get a good job. And you're nothing but trophies on a wall and all that stuff. The majority of high school football players do not even get to play in college at any level. That goes from NAIA, JUCO, all the way up to FBS levels. If you got on a college roster and you played, you are a small percentage of players that played in high school. Most of you guys played sports in high school. I want you to think back at how many players that you played with that played major college sports, or any college sports, even at a Division III school. It's very small. On top of my head, I'm very fortunate. I actually played with a bunch of guys who went pro or D1. That's still only like 2, which is incredible at a percentage point. But that's neither here nor there. Even on my college team, I played with guys that made it to an NFL roster, maybe 3. And that's including from, like, one was I had a couple that were like seniors or freshmen when I was seniors, but that I came into contact with. You want to play or be around a coach that still gives you that perspective. That still tells you you need to be ready for the real world. And how you do that as a player is you have to have a coach that is willing to hold you accountable and hold you to a standard. The most successful athletes outside of going to the NFL that do well in life understood and upheld that standard. Whatever your program standard is, I don't care what everybody else is, this is what we do here. I watched a lot of behind the scenes footage. I know people say, oh, well, the cameras are on him. Cameras are on every coach in college sports, okay? I played with cameras around and stuff. That is not true. All right, most coaches are not going to start talking about how you act as a young man and how you conduct yourself. And he's constantly harping on his players for that. Thing on that piece of paper that I wanted you to look at the most was highest GPA at that school ever. That's a cumulative GPA. I can personally tell you players that I played with that didn't even graduate. That when their eligibility was up, they literally just went home. And the coach didn't even bat an eyelash at it. They didn't care. That's the usual. That's the norm. When I see him walking out players whose fathers are incarcerated for senior day, visiting with players, parents who are incarcerated, giving walk-on players a chance, even though people only saw the I brought my luggage with me Louis Vuitton comment, they didn't see that one of the players who was a walk-on, wasn't even a scholarship player on that team, actually started at Colorado for a couple of games and stayed on the team, and he made sure he got him in the end zone almost as a thank you. The guy's name is Charlie Offerdahl, by the way. It's a thing. And I always hear him talking about how most of you guys are not going to go pro. And he's also very honest. There was a player last year named Cormani McClain that played at Colorado, ended up transferring. He was a 5-star recruit, one of the few that was on his team. Expected to play right away. And they asked him, point blank, the press asked him in a press conference, they said, why isn't he playing? He doesn't know how to prepare yet. I want to teach him how to prepare. He's not getting prepared. He's showing up late to meetings. Player said, I don't give a crap. He ended up transferring to Florida. The exact same thing happened at Florida. So these are things that you still have to have when you play for a coach. As a former player, those are things that me now, with my perspective, I would value more than anything. I played for 4 different defensive coordinators and position coaches in 4 years as a player. I had a certain coach that cared about me as a person. You gotta understand, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids, I'm not saying that you don't have to uphold a standard, things like that. When I say care about you as a person, I'm not saying that they should baby you. They should hold you accountable. You still have to be an adult, which they did. Checking in on you in some way, shape, or form. You doing good in class, making sure that they're staying. Those are ways that you show you care. I'm not talking about being like, hey, everything's going to be... No, I'm not asking for baby, but those are the things that you want from a coach. I also had some coaches... I had some coaches, I swear to God, as a starter, they barely even talked. Outside of, this is what you got to do and get the hell out of here, which again, part of the job. But I want a coach who wants to win, but also wants to build men. Young men. And that's what he is starting to build there, and I hope he stays for that reason. You cannot like his talkativeness or whatever reason you don't like him. That's on you. But I just implore you to look into some of the stuff outside. There was a kid who was getting bullied in Boulder. And he found out about it and invited him to the complex. Kind of took him in and said, if anybody messes with you, you got to talk to me now. I don't see a lot of coaches doing that. That's just, again, he's a guy of faith. He's all these things. I just want people to realize that stuff. Football is more than just X's and O's. And now that I'm far removed from the game and I talk to some of my former teammates, you know what coaches you rock with and stuff like that. If you don't believe me, like, again, I have coaches that are mutuals on Instagram. I still check in on them. Say, what's up, coach? I'm long gone. They don't got to talk to me. And we still remember each other. That's a coach. Some people are fortunate enough to play for coaches like that, and some never get to experience it. I would let my kid play for Dion. I would never let my kid play for Urban Meyer, who was a winning coach. I hope you understand why. It has nothing to do with football. That's just the real. But that's going to be the end of the video, man. I want to talk about that because I saw that video, and a lot of people hate on Prime. And look, get to just look at the whole big picture and not just the sports and stuff like that. Again, that's all. We'll be back tomorrow. More content, man, and hand signs. They made it to YouTube.